I called my doctor and was like, listen, what the hell is going on? Because my life is ruined. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why does this title say why you should not come off your antidepressants? Because surely everybody thinks the goal is to like come off them and live a happy antidepressant free life. I'm here to tell you it's not. Get yourself a drink, get comfortable. We are going to have some revelations today. So you may have seen that I filmed a few videos or uploaded a few videos like throughout the last 6 months, and it was basically detailing my journey of like coming off antidepressants, lowering my dosage, all of the pros and cons, etc, etc. If you've watched those videos, you will have seen that I looked miserable. So miserable. Like every video that I watched a couple this morning to like refresh my memory, and I literally looked so down and depressed. So this is going to be a whole jumbled video because I'm very energetic today and I struggle to keep like myself under control. But we are basically going to talk about why I think that you should not come off your antidepressants. This is somebody talking from experience here. I'm going to explain it all, but I am pro antidepressants. Take them little tablets, make yourself happy. Okay, so like I've said, I've got a few videos on my channel about coming off antidepressants. I'll give you a little bit of background in case you haven't seen them. I was on antidepressants for about 5 years. I was on 100 milligram, and at the start of the year, I decided that I wanted to come off them. I got it in my head that they were like the enemy, that I wanted to stop taking them completely and I would never go back on them again and blah blah blah. And that's basically what I was explaining in my last video. I had been off them for about 6 weeks when I last filmed, and if you watch this video, I will link it down in the description below, you will see how miserable I am. My personality is like completely muted and I just look sad. Like I'm saying things like, oh, I'm so proud of myself, but my face is like, oh my God, I'm so miserable in life. So I did come off my anti-Ds for 4 months, I think it was in total, and it basically ruined my life. Like, I thought I'd be really happy to be off them. I thought I'd feel really free and my brain would like go back to normal, and it just didn't. It made me really sad, really down, really anxious, and I hated it. So actually 6 weeks ago I decided to go back on my antidepressants after saying I never would. Like, hypocritical over here. This lighting is fucking me up today, it really is. So I'm going to get into the story a little bit more. Like I said, I came off them for 4 months and I tried really hard to not go back on them. I was really determined. I'd got through the withdrawal symptoms, I'd done all of that horrible nasty stuff, and I basically had this real aversion to going back on them. I told everybody, like, I'm never going back on these tablets now that I've finally done it. And my life just sort of got worse and worse. In my last video, I did explain that I'd become like really reclusive, which is how I was before. My personality was like really dampened down, and I assumed that coming off my anti-Ds would like make my brain normal again. And it just didn't. Like, it made everything so confusing to me. I couldn't function like in a normal way. I couldn't like do normal things. I was struggling to like get up in the morning and shower and plan my day. My brain was constantly in a fog, which I thought that coming off of my tablets would cure that. I thought that would like fix all the daziness you get when you're on anti-Ds, and I thought that I'd have like clarity and be amazingly focused and all of this crap that just never happened. Then I started to become really down. Now, I'm not really someone that's ever suffered with depression as such, but I do have really bad anxiety, but I definitely went into a depressive state. And after the first like 2 months, I called my doctor and was like, listen, what the hell is going on? Because my life is ruined. And he basically said, just try it for a little bit longer, give it 6 more weeks, see how you feel then. Because I do appreciate that you have to give these things time to get out your system, blah, blah, blah. But as I'm sure you know, my life is filming YouTube. I've got an ASMR channel. I run my own small business. I work for myself. So I very much depend on my own mental health to keep my jobs going. So if I'm in a bad place mentally and I'm not getting things done, my businesses start to suffer, which then means my whole life starts to suffer. It then puts more pressure on me. It's a whole vicious circle. Not only was this affecting my mental health, it was also affecting my life, like my entire life. And I couldn't really work out why, because all I'd ever wanted was to be off these tablets. I thought I would feel so accomplished if I stopped taking them. I thought it would make everything better. I'd be really proud and excited, and I just wasn't. It actually got that bad that I couldn't even go on my cousin's hen do. It was all booked, it was all paid for, and I was in such a bad place mentally that I couldn't physically go. And that was when I really thought, this is ruining your life, because I was so excited. Obviously I wanted to be a big part of her wedding, and I just physically felt like I couldn't cope with it. So that was the final straw. That was it. I knew I had to do something. Then I started becoming even more reclusive. I literally put a post on my Instagram saying I'm not going to be on Instagram for a while. I can't cope with it. I stopped talking to friends and family. My partner basically said to me, listen, what the hell is wrong with you? Because he almost felt like he'd lost his girlfriend, because the girl that he'd known, this like happy-go-lucky, you know, positive, really motivated person, was just completely gone. And that really made me realise, this is not helping me. Coming off of these tablets is not helping me at all. Like, why on earth did I think it was such a big deal to come off them? So after about 4 months and a week, I called my doctor and I was like, listen, I've basically been in a cave for the last 4 months. My whole life is ruined. I've let everything go down the pan. I just feel like I cannot cope. And he basically said, why don't you go back on your tablets? And I was like, no, sir. No, I've not gone through all of this for 8 months to go back on them. And the way he described it was like, if you were diabetic, you would take insulin, because your body naturally doesn't produce it, so you would have to take it every day. My body naturally doesn't produce enough serotonin, or as much serotonin as other people, so why would I not take that every day? And when he said it, I was like, sir, you are so right. Like, why am I putting myself through all this hell just so that I can say I don't take antidepressants anymore? Like, what is the point? So after a little chat, the doctor and I agreed that I wouldn't go back onto 100 milligrams, I'd go back onto 50. And I've got to say, in the last 7 weeks, if you follow me on Instagram, social media, etc., you probably will have seen the change as much as I have. My life is now back to being 10/10 amazing. Like, everything is flourishing again. I just feel so happy all of the time. And it does make me wonder why I ever tried to come off these. Like, if I have to take these antidepressants until the day I die to keep me feeling happy like this, I will take them. I will pay the £10 every 2 weeks. I will have all of the checkups that you have to have every 6 months. I'll speak to the doctor. I don't care. And that's why it was so important for me to make this video, because I think there is a hell of a lot of pressure on people to come off your antidepressants. Like, after you've been on them for a year or 2 years, oh, you should try and come off them. Like, no, if they're working for you, if they're making you feel happy and healthy, and they're keeping you on a good mental health even level, keep taking them. Keep taking them. Keep taking them until the day you die. Because why would you stop? Like the doctor said, if you were diabetic, you wouldn't just stop taking your insulin. So why would you stop taking these tablets? So yeah, that is rant sort of over. I know this has been a really strange video, and it's not a video that I ever thought I'd be making, you know, advising people not to come off their antidepressants. But I can't advocate for these little tablets enough. After going through the hell of coming off them for a period of, I think I said 8 months, but it's actually longer than that. I think it's over a year. Going through that hell, putting myself through all that stress, through all that anxiety, for what? For no reason. So if you're on antidepressants, there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed about. You keep taking them. You keep making your life better. Because why wouldn't you? If anybody wants to have a chat about any of this sort of thing, as always, you can message me on Instagram. I I'm not the best at the quick responses. It could take, like I always say, you know, 2 to 4 business weeks for a response, but I will try my best to reply to every single one of you because I like helping people. Also, I would massively advise you to go and watch the video that's in the description down below when I had come off my tablets and look at the difference in how I am today after being back on them for 6 weeks and how miserable I was back then, because it is like poles apart. As always, make sure you're staying safe. Do the right thing for you. Don't let other people tell you what is good for you. Only you know what is good for you. Make sure you're happy. Click the subscribe button and join the family if you would like to. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.